I thank Senior Minister for the ministerial statement. I'd asked 2 PQs on the same topics in January. My clarifications will fall into 2 buckets, the first on mindsets and instincts, the second on IT security. So firstly on mindsets and instincts, can I ask, in hindsight, could there have been earlier involvement of agencies with a specific security mindset when the new BizFile portal was being designed and implemented? In particular, does Senior Minister agree that in the modern era, we must assume that any database with a search function will attract cyber troublemakers trying to download and scrape as much of the information as possible? And as such, how can we further strengthen the instincts or even the sixth sense within agencies and officers to be more sensitized to these dangers, especially for databases that contain NRICs, because the NRIC number is unique, can't be changed. Once it's been harvested, that bell cannot be unrung. Secondly, on IT security, can I ask Senior Minister, is there room to strengthen the red team capability and the use of red teams within government to look at the security of online portals that might provide access to personal data even through a search function, especially for projects where there's a greater risk if there's a security glitch? For example, and I've read the report, it mentions that ACRA outsourced the portal security to the portal vendor. The vendor then outsourced security penetration tests to a security reviewer. And yet, when GovTech came in, they discovered that the security features were not adequately implemented. And in this vein, do we know if the same portal vendor and the same security reviewer are providing services to any other government portals or government organizations?
So hindsight is a marvelous thing. I use it very often myself too. But in any situation, each organization and each leader has to make the decision based on the information that he has and is able to obtain. So specifically on IT security, yes, indeed, it is important that when organizations implement an IT system or change an IT system, that they take security into account. And in fact, that is one of the requirements on IM8, and which organizations often find a little bit too prescriptive and overbearing. But that is a necessity, and for the reasons that Dr. Tan has pointed out. And so we do that, and we do that by engaging, and I should say that the government does not try to build every IT system itself. There are very reputable IT companies and vendors out there which government should make use of. And there are also very reputable IT security companies out there, some of them on the leading edge of IT security, which the government should also make use of. And so we should not and don't need to try to do everything ourselves. And this is the approach that we take. And in the evaluation of who to assign or who to award tenders to, these are taken into account. But of course, just as government can make mistakes sometimes, the IT vendors too are not perfect, as we know. Even IT security companies or companies which sell IT security as their main product have made mistakes and been penetrated in an embarrassing way before. So we need to keep on being vigilant. I should say, without going into too many details, because we don't want to give away exactly what we do in maintaining IT security, we do have a system of red teaming, which is quite, I should say, rigorous. And we also have invite the public to help us. So we actually have a bug bounty system. One which is evergreen. That means if you do find a bug, or you do find a way in which you can penetrate a government system, you let us know, and there's a bounty for it. And this is evergreen. But we also do, from time to time, have a hunting season. So we allow certain of our systems to be, and we invite white hatters to attack those systems. And then we also have a bounty system for that. So indeed, we have a system for that, but this is our process for choosing vendors, both IT vendors as well as security vendors. But I should say that if a vendor has been found to not have fulfilled his responsibilities properly, we take that into account in future awarding of tenders, because then how can you be sure, as Dr. Tan has pointed out? And I am very careful with what I'm saying, because as I pointed out, ACRA is keeping all its options open with regard to the IT vendor. But ultimately, the organization which owns the system, which is ACRA, has ultimate responsibility for it, and ACRA accepts that responsibility.